Welcome back to On Point Breed Bonanza Edition. James, Little Brown Jug tomorrow for the Standardbreds, and Saturday at Parx, showdown among the 3-year-olds in the Cotillion and the Pennsylvania Derby. Vance Hansen and I live at the Little Brown Jug tomorrow. What's the biggest harness race you've ever been to?
I guess the out at Red Mile, been out there for the Grand National.
Okay, Grand Circuit?
Grand Circuit.
Yeah, okay, yeah. American National used to be in Illinois. Grand Circuit travels around, including here in Lexington, the Kentucky Futurity, the last leg of the Trotting Triple Crown. Tomorrow we have a leg of the Pacing Triple Crown. I'm guessing you have not yet handicapped the Little Brown Jug.
I have not.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure. Who do you like?
Well, they have 11 pacers, and there's 2 big favorites in each of the divisions. And I like the favorite in the second division, whose name I've already forgotten.
Not this time, or no, not.
Yeah, it's in the second division, the favorite. Right. Not betting line.
Not betting.
I like the other favorite.
Okay.
But you have to win twice. So I just think the horse in the second division is going to have an easier go. He seems to have a pace advantage. Half-mile track at Delaware definitely favors pace. Tough to close on, but I think we're in for a good race among the top 2. So follow us on Twitter and the blog.
Yeah,
and all
looking
that.
forward to you and Vance Hansen. We'll both be there. How many times have you been to Little Brown Jug?
So this will be my 3rd jug, and I've been to the jug out a couple times as well.
It's fun to watch on TV, though. The crowd just seems to be hanging over the rail on the backside and everything.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's half-mile, so they're right on top of the action. Makes it a lot of fun. A lot of show bettors at the Little Brown Jug, and it's a pool I definitely tell people to watch, because they bet names, they bet numbers, it's a local crowd. So, normally I'm not a big show bettor, but it's a day I purposefully look at the show pools because it handles more than the place pools.
Mm-hmm.
So, worth looking.
That's
if you're looking for some action bets, sometimes the choice in the win pool won't be the favorite in the show pool because people are betting a Buckeye horse or, various names like that. So, check that out on Thursday. 2 days later at Parx. Songbird, Carina, Mia, and Cathryn, Sophia in the Cotillion, Derby and Preakness winner versus some pretty good other 3-year-olds in the Pennsylvania Derby. We'll start with the Cotillion. Same old question, can Songbird be beat?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if she does get beat, it would be most likely, I think, Cathryn Sophia, because she's got that home track advantage. She's, based at Parx and, comes off a nice win over the track. But obviously for Songbird, I mean, I think if she runs as a lot of people are expecting, I think that's going to set her up to be the favorite as well in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. So there's definitely some Distaff overtones as far as how she performs.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of questions on Twitter over the last couple weeks. Who would be the Distaff favorite, assuming Songbird and Beholder both win their next race? I'm in the Songbird camp. Mm-hmm. I just feel like her being 1-5 against Carina Mia 2 starts back shows that there's a lot of money behind this horse. Not that there isn't on Beholder, but to me, she's just, between being an even bigger fan favorite than Beholder and the undefeated streak, I think tips the scales in her favor, assuming they both win.
Yeah, and even last year, in that juvenile fillies at Keeneland, she opened at 1-5, and that was Rachel's Valentina, was coming off a Grade 1 win. That was a strong field on paper, and I just think it'll be more the same. With 11-for-11 record, she will be the star of the show in a sense. Once again, I mean, I think she'd be a clear favorite in the Pennsylvania Derby if she was in that.
Yeah, good point. I agree. And got to take care of business first on Saturday. So we'll see what happens there against 2 very good fillies and a few others. I mean, Landover Sea was sort of an alternate way back when. Not sure she's at the level of the other 3, but, for Songbird being in there, they got a great field. And why not for that kind of money? Pennsylvania Derby, Nyquist, Exaggerator, dry track looking likely. Gun Runner actually tops on prime power. I really want to see how the odds shake out because I can make a case for any of those 3 as a win bet. To me, it just depends on how they get bet.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm leaning towards Nyquist rebounding, and I'd certainly would hope to see Gun Runner and Exaggerator take some action. I mean, even Summer Revolution, I think he's going to be a little bit of a wise guy pick in there. I think he ran a really big race, 2 starts back in that allowance, and had a troubled trip last time. That a lot of people are going to take a look at that awkward start and say, hey, that was his stakes debut. He'll continue to move forward. He's by Summer Bird, should handle the added ground, but he still is going 2 turns the first time.
Yep, and Cupid, another one.
Cupid's another one. You know, to me, Cupid is razor sharp form right now. I just don't know if non furlong is his best distance.
Right, and you touched on that in a piece about the Dirt Mile, the Breeders' Cup, Pennsylvania Derby. Certainly implications. I'm sure Nyquist and Exaggerator have designs on the Classic.
Right.
And as good as California Chrome has been this year, either one of them wins here, looks good, and then wins the Breeders' Cup Classic. Strong case for Horse of the Year.
Absolutely.
With the grade ones they already have.
Yeah.
And then to me, Cupid and Gun Runner certainly probably better suited, especially with that Dirt Mile this year being 2 turns. Right up their alley.
Absolutely, and I do think, you know, Gun Runner has shown signs, you know, getting tired in the stretch and the Travers and the Derby. As I pointed out, on a fast track, he's never lost at a mile or a mile 16th distance. So, you know, mile and an eighth might be up his alley, like what the Penn Derby is, but I am anticipating a cutback for him on Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, and as much as a lot of people talk about Exaggerator wanting a wet track, Gun Runner to me is one you don't hear a lot of attention about him not getting a dry track in the Haskell. You can throw that out. Thought he ran huge in the Travers given the distance against a runaway winner. To me, again, I'm not really sure who I want on top. It's going to be based on how they get bet. But if you said, I need a show pick, it would be Gun Runner because he'll be third choice in the show pool. You know he runs his race. If it's dry, he's the one I'd want to at least be in the number.
Yeah, and we didn't even mention Connect as well. I mean, Chad Brown has a nice looking colt there who, you know, turned in a decent middle move in the Travers, and while he didn't hit the board there, he's eligible to run better as well, I think, at a second graded start.
Yeah, well, it's a great race, as you would expect, for $1.25 million. Probably the last time we'll see any of them before the Breeders' Cup. So a lot to watch this week, and we'll be back next week. Got some Breeders' Cup prep starting in earnest. Santa Anita reopens. Belmont's got some big races. We'll talk about it all on Point. Join us then.